Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Hello.
You see the crew, right? Y'all see the crew. So I'm Shivaneth Mendoza, also known as Bella the Beauty Boss, and I'm here with my girl Nicola and the Rising Sun. And this is Success is the New Sexy.
That's right.
We're trying to get it together, people. It's cold in New York, okay? That is where we're from, and it's very cold over here. You see the cold? So cold.
Welcome, Nicole.
Yes, we missed you. Like, guys, you missed Nicola? We have missed her so much. Welcome back. But you know what we say every week? Life be life in. And we are wives, businesswomen, mothers, sisters, aunties, besties. And somebody's always trying to take up our time. But
It's sometimes even a brother.
yeah, that's true. That's very true. But before I start the show tonight, I want to take a quick moment to shout out my boy, my main squeeze, Benjamin, and congratulate him on his baptism this weekend. I am so proud of you, honey, and the journey that you decided to take with Christ. Auntie Bella loves you, and I appreciate you for tuning in all the way every week from Toronto to listen to me. I'm super proud of you, honey. So I hope you enjoy your night. Have a good night.
Benjamin went and get the dip.
Yes, I'm so proud of him. He made
You go, Benjamin.
he is 10 and he's making these decisions on his own, and I'm so proud of him. You know, when I spoke to him, he wanted me to come out, but I couldn't make it. But when I spoke to him, he told me, you know, God spoke to him.
That's powerful.
And yes,
You know, the funny thing, Benjamin is what, 10?
10.
I think I got baptized when I was 12.
My son baptized when he was 10, my oldest son.
Yeah.
Baptized when he was 10.
See, there's a
Good journey, Benjamin. Yeah.
Yes. So guys, let's get into my favorite tune. When we were kids in the backyard, playing restaurants and rock stars, no one told us to stop it. Call this unrealistic. Now suddenly you're 18. Go to college for your plan B. What you want is too risky. Live for weekends and whiskey. We all got these big ideas. One day they're replaced with fears. How did we get here? Darling, don't quit your daydream. It's your life that you're making. It ain't big enough if it doesn't scare the hell out of you. If it makes you nervous, it's probably worth it. Why save it for sleep when you could be living your daydream? 31 waiting tables. I got a voice of an angel, out of knowledge and power. She only sing in the shower. All these things we say we'll get to, shut down by the reasons not to. Darling, don't quit your daydream. It's your life that you're making. It ain't big enough if it doesn't scare the hell out of you. Guys, you know that's our intro song. That's my girl Lily Miola with my favorite song, Daydream. And if you listen to the words in the song, it's very powerful. It's very motivational, very inspirational. For those of you who needs a pick-me-up sometime and don't have that one friend that could pick you up, you should try listening to this song sometimes. The words just says it all. How are you going to move on in life if you don't have a dream and you keep quitting all the time? You got to stop. You got to keep pushing through, grinding through, and making things happen for you. So like my girl said, don't quit your daydream. All right? So tonight's topic is a bit personal for a lot of us here because when you're a business person, a lot of people tend to see one thing and not the other. So tonight's topic is going to be the things people see versus what really happens behind the scene. the grinding and the constant hustling, even the tears. You may not cry to them, but you might cry to the Lord. And I had to choose that topic because I'm getting a lot of kickback from some people that's watching my lifestyle. You know, the glitz and the glam and the glory is not my everyday life, people. All right? I wish it was, but it's not my everyday life. Most of my life is spent behind the scenes, working and grinding and building this dream that I'm pushing so hard to leave a legacy in the world. So stop watching me and watch yourself, look in the mirror, and say, you know what? That can be me too. Put the work in and get the damn job done. With that being said, what's up, Nicola?
Everybody. Yeah, but that topic definitely touched a nerve for me also because like you said, like people can see you with the business, they can see you with the car or house, and they think like ownership is easy, and it's really not. They don't see the nights when you're up brainstorming, you trying to figure out how to make the ends meet because you didn't make the sales. Because like at the end of the day, when you're an entrepreneur, you're not guaranteed a check. You have to make your own paycheck.
Bosses get paid last.
Last.
And the bosses take losses that you all don't see. You understand?
Yeah.
They don't understand, girl.
It's a lot of losses that come with this whole entrepreneur and being a boss. That's why I say like it's not for everybody. You have to know what you can endure and then you go towards that. And again, so like everyone, there's no being a boss is better, being a 9 to 5 is better. It's all about what's comfortable for you.
Mm-hmm.
What's comfortable for me is being an entrepreneur. Yes, it comes with the struggles. Yes, it comes with the times of being denied on loan applications, business loans, and things like that. And when you get a no, you have to keep on going. Opposed to a person who doesn't necessarily have to experience those things.
Because for us, when we hear no, no means no. Ain't got no coming back, honey. If we don't keep our life intact, our credit intact, we have to constantly be looking at ourselves and saying, you know what? We got to say no to ourselves sometime because sometimes you might see a pocketbook that you want or a new car that you really, really want, like that Bentley Bottega. And you got to say, honey, not today.
Not right now.
Not right now. So no to you, which is to me.
So you got to know the budget yourself.
Exactly. You got to be able to know how to structure and budget yourself so you can keep climbing and getting to the next level. I'm tired of people sitting back and just watching and thinking that, all of this just fell out of the sky. It didn't. It started with a dream. So for those who know and for those who don't know, I came to America at the age of 21 with $20 in my pocket. I've struggled. I've been homeless before. I've had my ups and downs, but I believe in God and I believe in faith. And what is for you can never miss you. Mm-hmm. So it's my turn now. Mm-hmm. And I'm enjoying and I'm reaping my labor. Okay?
As you should.
So,
as you should.
When you put in that work and, it's not about how you fall and when you fall, your get back up is what is the glory. God sometimes puts you down on the ground for you to check yourself and reconnect with him because somewhere along the line, you probably lost faith, you lost the way, and all those things that he was giving to you, the universe was blessing you with, you took for granted. So sometimes he'd step you back to move you forward, or whoever, you pray to, or whatever your beliefs are. Sometimes you get put back in a position to get moved forward. And you have to remember that, honeys. You have to remember that sometimes the start over is way better than where you started from. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate my hustles. I appreciate my struggles. I've learned from them. You learn lessons along the way. And if you didn't learn a lesson when you were put down, or you didn't get all the way to the ground, but you hovered and you come back up and you learned nothing from that, then something's wrong with you. Mentally, spiritually, emotionally. You really got to check yourself.
And like a really big lesson for me that I learned from going through the ups and downs is that sometimes when you have a really big heart and you want to take everybody with you, you can't.
You can't.
Sometimes God would remove things from you to show you people and then remove them from your circle so that way you can move forward. Because a lot of times we all have the intentions of like, I want to bring my friends, I want to bring family, I want to bring my spouse. And it's the hard reality. And sometimes it's really a tough pill to swallow when it's like, dang, I have to let go of these people. Like for me, I remember one time, being popular, having all these friends, being able to call this one, that one, being able to make one phone call and I could fill a room of people to idle. But then when you get serious and you get into business, you're gonna lose a lot of people along the way. That's why when they have that saying that says it gets lonely at the top, it's really true. So
it's a true thing.
It's a true thing.
It's a true thing. Or your circle changes and you gotta find people that's really in the similar circle that you're in, so that you can have friends and you can connect. Because people that I had around me 4 or 5 years ago, they're not around me anymore. For their own selfish reasons, because everybody's looking to see what you have, and nobody wants to put out the work just as hard as you are. And that's why they say this is your dream. You understand? So when you quit your daydream, you're going to fail. I'm not quitting my daydream because this is something I want for me. So your circle changes every time you level up in life. You don't have to say you're leaving people behind. You're just evolving. And I like the evolution that I'm in.
Yeah, when you evolve, though, you definitely have to accept the harsh truth that you are going to leave people in behind. That the conversations that once used to entertain you no longer entertain you. The
Things
people,
change.
Yeah, things change, and it doesn't mean like that you feel like you're better than anyone, but you're just going in different directions. Sometimes people interpret your involvement as you thinking that you're better or that you think this or that of yourself, but that's really not the case. The humble never stumble. The humble you are, no matter how much you're blessed, no matter what you go through, once you're humble and you're grateful and appreciative, it's gonna always come back to you. Like if you lose it once and you get it back again, it wasn't by chance. It's in you, not on you.
Yep, I believe that. Humility is a big thing in anything that you're doing. It could be the smallest thing that you're dibble-dabbling in, but you have to have humility. People might watch and say, oh my God, all she wears is Gucci and Prada and this and that. Girl, I've been working since I'm 16. I know some of you probably working since you're 10 or 12, because you got to hustle, you got to help the family coming from Caribbean background. And back in the day, some households have 8, 9, 10 people in it. And whatever number you are, you still got to put in the work because we all got to survive. So if you didn't learn life lessons growing up and you're not willing to structure yourself and face the hard reality of this big word called sacrifice. Do you know what a sacrifice is? Back in the day when you hear your mother say, well, girl, I couldn't even buy flour. I had to give all you some cassava and butter to eat because things rough. And you get to a point in your life where you making sacrifices now because you want to buy a house. In America, you can never own anything outright. A lot of people get it twisted and saying, oh my God, they're in America, they have money. Oh my God, you in the Caribbean, you got money. Can you see the house you live in?
It's yours.
It's yours. The house I live in, if I didn't pay the bank tomorrow, it belongs back to the bank. So for those of you that are looking on, if I want to pay off my house, I'd appreciate it. So now I can say I own something, but all my houses, the bank owns it. It's called investment. And even what happens when you pay the mortgage off?
You still owe taxes.
Thank you.
And you don't pay the taxes, they'll still come take that house.
Okay, we never own nothing, honey. So when we say no in America, it's a hard no, because we know if we say yes and we can't pay the mortgage tomorrow and we give all this something, you still in your house and we in the streets. How are you going to help me now?
So basically what people sees,
what you see
is not really what they see beyond what's going on.
See beyond that. How did she get it or how did he get it? I want you guys to start looking beyond what you see and saying, oh my God, you can imagine how much nights the Rising Sun stay up to write this song. Not look at him on the Billboard chart. Not, oh my God, Rising Sun has so much money a yard. Come on, man. You know, you guys have to see beyond a business person. It's like an employee coming to work and wasting time in our eyes as a business person because you're on the clock.
Mhm.
Now, if you work for me and I'm paying you, I expect to see my work.
Mhm.
I make sure I get my work in because when Friday reach and it's time to get paid, I know you're waiting for that money, honey. So if I ain't seeing my work, you ain't getting paid. I'm sorry. We're gonna do this back and forth.
Mhm.
Show me your work, I'll show you your money. How about that? And then people will see how it feels.
Yeah.
You understand?
Mhm.
Stop shortchanging the people that you think have it all. We have the harder job than you guys do. Because we got to make sure we have it to produce for you guys. If we can't bring the ideas to the table to keep the businesses running, if we can't know how to budget and save and make sure the rent is paid, the lights is paid, and keep things going, what happens?
Lose it
Some,
all.
so
You lose it all.
most people are seeing the glory. They don't see the sweat.
They
and
don't see the
tears.
blood, sweat, and tears. I just cry. My eyes just get full of water. Only one sip of cry, I could cry in Q2 and all. Because when things get rough, you gotta cry. You gotta cry out to somebody. I cry out to the Lord. You know, because no man can come and be like, oh my God, he was crying to me. Girl, only God could come and tell you I was crying. Because when you see me again, my face polished and I'm ready to go next level up. You know, start looking behind the scenes and stop the grudgy and the jealousy and thinking about the materialistic things that people have and who have this and who have that. How did they get it? They worked for it.
Right. There's no longevity in overnight success. A lot of times people see you with things like you mentioned and they think that it happened overnight. It never happens overnight. Even when you see and when you take a look like everybody's social favorite thing, social media.
Mm-hmm.
When something goes viral and it's an instant success, it's very short lived.
Very, very short.
Very short lived.
You get 1 million views today, tomorrow you get one. So be careful of the way you produce your energy and try to transfer your energy onto people.
Right.
Hey Faith, how are you? We missed you. Thank you so much for tuning in, my love. We really, really missed you guys. You know, like we said, the topic is for night is what people see versus what happens behind the scenes. And we hear a bunch of behind the scenes people. Sometimes, you know, you'll be like, damn, I don't want to do this no more. But then what you going to do? Because if you don't want to do it for you, then who's going to do it for you, honey? So you got to shake it off, all right? You guys got to start focusing on, you know, what's happening behind the scenes versus what you seeing in front of you. Because if nothing is happening behind the scenes, then there's nothing for you to see. And if you see something and you like it, this could be you too. Do it the right way. Ask for help. And with that being said, you know, we do have mentorship programs. If you want to hit up me or Nicola or the Rising Sun, you can find us on Instagram at Success is the New Sexy. You can ask all your questions. You can even set up a one-on-one phone call with one of us. And we do have a fee though, you know, we're just going to be transparent and put it out there. You know, knowledge is power, but we do have a consultation fee. Everything is listed online and we will definitely help guide you guys in the right direction. You know, in business, sometimes you have to know not everything is going to go straight down to the last dot, the last T. And you have to be able to move and groove, hit the ground running, and pick up the pieces and go again. You know, for me, there's no such thing as failure. I used to look at things back in the day and be like, oh my God, why this happened? Why this happened? And now, you know what my word is? Oh my God, God saved me from that. Look at what's going on now. God saved me. You know, so when something is not happening for you, just look at it as God saving you, right? Don't try to pass blame. Oh, well, you didn't do this, you did this. It's not like that. Just look at it as God saved you. It's like leaving home 5 minutes later and then you see a car crash up the street. That could have been you. And you go, oh my God, you know what? That could have been me if I had left in time. I could have been in that pileup.
For real.
No, you missed it.
So, you know, don't fight the fights.
Don't fight the
Always go with
vibes.
the flow.
Yeah.
And a lot of times too, like It's never a failure. It's more like a learning lesson because you learn from the mistake and you don't fail from the same thing twice, unless you want to.
Mhm.
But in life, whenever something doesn't go the way as planned, you definitely gotta look at it as a learning lesson. You reevaluate, you learn from it, and then you apply yourself again. Because if we go down the list, some of the Fortune 500 companies, they went bankrupt not once, not twice, but multiple times. Now, these big companies can go bankrupt, lose millions. You have to be understanding and easy on yourself to accept that when these challenges come along the way and things do happen, and let's just say you do fail, it's not a failure. You pick yourself up and you try again.
And that is so true.
Yes.
You understand? And that's how you're going to succeed.
We're trying to.
Oh,
Nicole,
I can't
without the
even
glasses.
see.
I gotta
I
get
left my glasses
Nicole.
at home.
Thank you,
Next
Mom.
time I'm bringing it.
That's Benjamin's mom. Yeah, she said, thank you, Auntie Bella, for your love, support, well wishes. Thank you, Rising Sun and Nicola,
All the time.
for your well wishes. God bless you all. Love Benjamin. We love you, Benjamin.
Yay.
He's so adorable. He is so adorable. I was telling my son that he baptized this weekend. He was like, oh my gosh, that's so nice. I was like, your turn next, right? But I don't push my kids. when
Benjamin
he's
is
ready.
in Canada, right?
Yes, he's in Canada.
Wake up,
He's
like,
such an
I remember.
adorable boy. You know, I was having a bad day one day and I heard from Benjamin and them. And the first thing he said to me, he's like, you know what, Auntie Bella,
I'm a pray for
can
you.
I pray for you? I received that prayer with such an open heart that after he prayed, I felt so good. I was like, Lord, I needed that.
Benjamin, don't leave me out the prayer tonight. You hear me?
Don't
Don't
forget
leave
to
me
call
out,
in the Rising
Benjamin.
Sun. Your prayers are powerful, honey. They want it.
You know
want
they
some
say when
prayers.
2 or 3 are gathered in the name of the Lord and move mountains. Okay,
Yes.
Benjamin.
Benjamin is so adorable. Yeah. So, you know, people need to start looking beyond. You know, not because you see somebody driving a Rolls Royce, you don't know what they're doing. They could be, you know, you never know.
And most importantly, don't be afraid to ask for help. Like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, each one teach one. The same way while you're spending this energy envying me and grudging what I have, you can use your mouth and ask me, how did you do it? Because information, like you said, is so powerful. It's life changing. You know, when you have more information, you can do
Mhm.
things differently. And again, it's the same way how you can sit there and think something negative and say something negative towards someone, you can actually reach out and say, hey, can you help me? Can you show me? There's enough abundance of money, cars, clothes, bags, you name it. There's enough for all of us.
Yeah.
Just because we have a certain purse, car, lifestyle doesn't mean that we're gonna limit you from also having it. Like what we have does not stop the next person from being able to enjoy it also.
Right. But
Nicola is a sure believer that she say it all the time.
you have to be willing to put in the work that we put in also.
Yes, 100%.
You understand? You guys
Mhm.
have to be willing to put in the work. You know, you're not going to succeed. We be up.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Faith said, absolutely, we are all individuals.
All right, somebody else gonna read it. I'm not squinting no more to look. Somebody else gonna do it.
Yeah. So you got to be willing to put the work in. You know, the more work you put in, the better things will turn out for you. And you got to understand that, you know, even though you get a no, still push. Even though it may not have happened today, it's paused for a reason. It could happen tomorrow. You cannot stop. You cannot drop yourself down in the ground and be like, oh my God, what next? There is a next. But sometimes you got to have patience. You got to have humility. You got to have faith. You know, you got to stop losing faith in the Lord and know that it is going to happen. It may not be right at this minute, but it will be in His time. So I'm always open to waiting, because if this is not for me and I'm seeing things is happening and I'm getting signs to pause, and I pause, I see the greatness happen beyond that.
Yes.
You know, one thing might turn into something bigger.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you got to put in the work, honey. You all got to
the time.
put in the work.
All the time.
You know, my behind the scene life, I need to make cameras start following me. My kids keep telling me that.
Mm-hmm.
I have real estate in my background. You know, you guys know I do real estate. And the things we just have to deal with sometimes, like One of my houses is being renovated, squatters in the house. Get a call, squatters in the house. You gotta go deal with police, you gotta go deal with people that are in your house and not supposed to be in your house. The behind the scenes thing,
Let me tell y'all something.
girl.
Speaking of behind the scenes, I had tenants who moved in before COVID. They had a program from Department of Homeland
Mhm.
where they paid one rent. When the one rent was up, they asked me to lower the rent. I said, listen, I can't lower the rent. Do you know these people did not pay rent for 2 years?
And mortgage still gotta pay.
And mortgage still gotta pay.
Behind the scenes,
I had
honey.
to pay lawyers to get them out, and these people were so serious that I even had to wait till they waited till the marshal came to put them out, because in New York, the way how it works is they'll tell you, okay, the marshal is gonna come here at this date. You have the opportunity to remove your belongings from the property
Mhm.
before the marshals come. They waited, so now I had to pay the marshals
To
to
take
remove them, and they could have left without the marshals, without me having to come out of pocket. But
Mhm.
these people left
They grind
owing-
you all the way down, girl.
owing $30,000 in rent because it was a one-bedroom apartment and they haven't paid for 2 years. And these are the things that come with it. But then someone would say, "Oh, you own house and like you think you're like as a landlord you get like a certain kind of like stigma that comes with the title."
Mhm.
So when people feel like you're a landlord, they don't understand that the tenants have more rights than you and they live in your house.
Yeah, I bought a house in 2016. The tenants still living there. They never pay me yet. I'm going to court again next month. Well, this month could be in November. You understand? People owe me over 150,000, 200,000 in rent in New York,
It's crazy.
and I still gotta hold the strain. I still gotta pay the mortgage because if I don't pay the mortgage, I lose my investment. So when people sitting down and watching, they don't really know what's happening. They don't even know if I ate today. Like if I have food, I look cute though. I might be hungry, but I look cute. So guys, behind the scenes, it's a lot
They saying
a
Bella
lot that's
never
been
hungry.
going on.
That's what they saying. Bella never hungry.
Yeah. You never know. I'll drink some water.
And something,
Some
I
more.
think one time I've mentioned this before, I'm going to say it again. This is why it's so important to be kind, because you never know what someone's going through. You never know like what someone's dealing with, how their day is going. Like that's why a lot of times when I get bad service or someone has like a rude reaction, I never take it personal, because you really never know what somebody's going through or what someone's dealing with.
Mhm.
It's so important to be kind, and that's where that whole humility comes in again.
Yeah.
You have to have it.
People be like, "Oh my God, you always so happy." No, I'm not. But I'm not going to show you my weakness. I'd be like, "Hi guys, good day. How are you? Welcome to Bella Body." You would never know I'm having a bad day. Never know I'm having a bad day.
Seriously,
You
just
gotta.
always keep a smile.
You always have because we are the front line.
Mhm.
We always got to keep a smile on our face, because like Nicola said, you never know what somebody else is going through. And I'm a firm believer of not transferring energy, and I'm so proud of myself because
That's good.
I will just sit back and let you curse me out.
I like that.
And I just smile.
Not transferring energy, but a lot. If it's good energy. Yeah.
And you could text me and you could curse me out and I wouldn't respond, because it drives people mad.
Yeah, it does.
Because you're not matching their energy. You're not feeding into any negativity.
And this kind of ties into what we're saying, because I don't know if everyone like watching what's going on in the world. Like I'm really big on current events.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're following what's happening in Palestine and you see like how no matter what horrific things is happening, those people are so deep rooted in faith,
Mm-hmm.
and they're still believing, they're still praying, they're still kind to one another, they're still loving and caring to each other. So it ties into what we say, but I just wanted to speak on it briefly because like I said, I'm really big into current events, and that's like just to
Definitely.
see that we may complain about what we go through on a daily
crazy
basis.
things going on.
But
right?
you see
There was an
you see
earthquake
the
in Jamaica
Gaza?
too.
Yeah, of course.
You
Wait,
see the
yes,
people
sir.
after pictures of
Oh, trust me, I've been closely
the Gaza? People don't
following it
understand
along.
like the things you all want to worry about.
Right.
Sometimes if you humble yourself and try to have a conversation versus rhyme all the time, I can't hear nothing when you're in my ear like this. You get a blank, docile stare, and I just listen and just let you go your way. I like conversations. Communication is the key to me. And when you start screaming, I'll just listen because we're not going to get anywhere with both of us being loud. And that's growth. Them is things you do when you're kids. You scream back and forth.
Yeah.
I'm an adult.
Exactly.
I like being an adult. I love being an adult.
Not me. Take me back to the days.
I'm just kidding. I want to go back to. They say that they have that thing, bring back the old time days.
Yeah.
I want to go back to the old time days. I'm glad with the revolution. I'm glad with the change. I like the now. Because as you grow, you see different things, and then you could have adaptation, and then you could incorporate little things from your past into your present, like your upbringing, certain things your parents teach you that you could bring into your family.
Yeah, that's true.
So I like the now, Nicola. I like the
You
now.
love your time.
I love having the kids around.
Yeah.
I like the now.
Not me. I felt like I was born in the wrong era, honestly. I really do. Because let me tell you something. Back then, when houses were 10,000 and they were easily more affordable, I just felt like we weren't fully equipped with the knowledge that we have today to make things more possible for us.
But
the opportunities back then to really become like millionaires and pass down that generational wealth, it was back then. I'm not saying it's not here now, but it's just a little bit harder to acquire, just in my opinion.
I don't think so,
But each generation comes the same thing.
It's come to say.
Each generation is the same thing. So even back then,
the parents were
same
saying the same
ideals.
thing. Yeah.
Those were same ideals.
You know what it is now? You have to remember something. Things change because now, back then, we weren't able to have access to education and information, just being a certain person of color, certain of race.
Mm-hmm.
But now we have that ability to. Somebody said something, and I can't read it, and I'm not going to try to read it. But I will say that what
Benjamin said, I will pray for all of you. Mommy always say to pray for everyone. My family and I have a big heart, and we love people. I like your background and all the candies outside yesterday. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Benjamin.
Candies.
Yeah, we did. Yes, it was Halloween. So the girls was out with the candies and stuff in front of the shop, giving the kids candies. Yeah.
Okay. That's what was popping.
Yeah. Yesterday was Halloween. And then went trick or treating.
I ain't do no trick or treating.
I did trick or treating. Listen, I'll tell you how I did my trick or treating.
Yeah.
I drove up the block. I dropped the kids off, and I was like, "Do the block," and I'll be in the car. I was tired, girl.
I work, but
I was getting my scrubs.
See, revolution.
So they was like, "What are you, mommy?" I was like, "I'm a nurse."
See, in
So I had my scrubs on and everything.
No. You were a nurse for Halloween?
Yeah. And my son and his friend, these kids are funny, right? They didn't want to wear costume. So one put on like a full gray outfit and said, "Oh, I'm J. Cool." And then my son was like, "Yeah, and I'm the producer." So I was like, you know what? I'm done.
The producers.
Yeah.
That's smooth.
Yeah. I was like, "Oh, you the smash my one. You handling all the business."
Yeah, he's handling all the business.
He's something else. These kids are something else.
Definitely.
Yeah, but going forward to what Nicola was saying,
Yeah.
I do believe that each generation it is always something, or so it's because our knowledge increase every day, right? But the knowledge was there in the past generation just the same. It wasn't accessible to everyone, or the ways of getting the money wasn't accessible to everyone. But like for instance, the price of whatever the market is now seems higher,
Way higher.
way higher. Generation past seems lower, but it was high comparing to the generation
because
before
for
that.
some people, basically is their family wasn't wealthy. You understand? And that's what she's trying to say. Like they miss something. They miss something along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Like I tell people, if I knew what I know now at this age, 30. Let me stop. But if I knew what I know now at this age, I would be Probably richer than Oprah. I'm putting it out there. I intend to be richer than Oprah with the things that I'm doing. You know, you got to speak it into existence
Mhm.
and have faith that you can do it and put in the work just as she did. But if I knew what I knew now at the age of 21, I would be in a big, way big different
Mhm.
status in life.
Mhm. And that's the reason why I said every generation comes the same thing, because you have or in the generation now that is 20, same thing.
Like I was telling my son, right?
They're exposing to a lot that we weren't exposed to.
Exposed to.
But then 20 years from now, they're gonna be like, if I had the knowledge that I know
now because
when I
things
was 20.
change. So when my son turned 19, I got him his first house.
Yeah.
Right? And what I had to teach him though about home ownership is not the nickel and the dime. Like I say, people live in our houses and they're in pain. It's not that we're not phased, but we look at long term and not short term. And while you're still not paying me, my house is still building equity. And I had to teach my son that. You know, it's like, don't worry about the man who living in the house and not paying. Because now the house is worth 3 times the amount that you bought it for. So how about you refinance and take some money out? You understand?
Yeah.
So when you would have been when you're paying that mortgage and you worrying about making a $200-300 on the rent, your equity goes up every year. So now you go from a $400,000 house in 5 years to $1 million house. So you
Sure.
still, yeah. So if you count $500 every month for 12 months, that's what
Um,
6,000.
yeah.
Counted by 5 years. So you worry about 30,000, or you're going to worry about 500,000.
Right.
You understand? So it's educating your kids from now, because like we say, if we knew what we knew now,
Mhm.
but now you have children, you could embed that into them
Right.
Mhm.
and teach them the generational wealth, how to build their legacy,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and it lives on.
I see that's the key right there, because that's the difference where with our generation
Mhm.
and before and to come. Before, or most of our parents, because it's just where we were at. Most of us, is where they were at. Most of our parents didn't um, get there as yet, or had it where they have any inheritance.
Right? But I believe also is sometimes you as an individual, what you want out of life. Because my mother, she stopped school at the age of 13 to help her mother take care of her brothers and sisters.
No, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. My point is this: that versus people who have inheritance. Basically, what I'm trying to
No,
say.
I agree with
If
you.
you,
I
if
agree
you,
with
if you're
you.
coming from a background,
Mhm.
I agree with you.
I just the other day I was amongst a group of people who in the city, wealthy people, and the talks that they have, it bring light to me.
Mhm.
Their talks, their start is through inheritance. Most of them is through inheritance. I one person in particular was speaking with the next person. They're speaking about buying a building in Manhattan,
Mhm.
like the $3 million building, and the person was like, "Oh yeah, we looking to make this purchase, and they say they're ready, and the building is gonna be like $3 million." And but they're not really. They say they have money, but they don't really have money, because when we check their account, they have 500,000 cash, and they were like, "But that's not a lot of money." But they're counting on their inheritance. So our next person was like, "So do they have the inheritance? Are they looking to get it?" They don't have it yet, but it's
Yeah,
coming in their
they
position.
can
So
show-
you get the
they can
point I'm
prove
trying to
it.
say. Because of inheritance is
Right.
handed down, they can see.
Yeah, but how
At
you think they
start.
got that? For simple things.
You understand?
Their parent probably took out a Roth IRA for them when there was a
And
baby.
that's my point.
They
Our parents never
had a life
was not
insurance.
there. We in this generation is most of us get there now.
Okay.
So our children is gonna see that inheritance.
Right. But if you look at something, you can't say parents were not there, right? when your mother was growing up, I'm pretty sure she had a dream that, oh my God, I need to get a house and I have these kids. You understand that I need to put in a house. That is a dream.
No, I understand what he's saying though. He's saying like basically like as people who come from communities and from families who aren't well off, we don't look forward to no inheritance. We know we're not getting no inheritance because our parents before us and their parents never left them no inheritance.
But
So
you
there's nothing
see,
to pass down.
that is not true, right? That same house that your mother built is an inheritance.
But how many people mothers
wasn't
built
a lot.
out was able to build a
It wasn't
house?
a lot.
It's like
it wasn't a lot.
we're talking about
People,
like
you know, so it's
2 out
changed.
of
It's like
10.
the demographic have changed now because
Right.
most of us is getting to the bag now.
Mhm.
right.
So it's a difference now. So ultimately,
But why would you think that people back in the day wouldn't get into the bag?
No,
You gotta
people
look
were
at,
getting to the
where
bag.
They
where they
weren't.
started to
They
where
were
they
getting
are.
by. No, people back in the days weren't getting to the back. They were making ends meet and taking care of their family. Putting food on the table was the most of them could do and keep the roof over their heads, the basic necessities of providing for a child because they weren't given the opportunities. My mother stopped going to school when she was 12 years old and my mother had to fend for herself. My mother's highest level of education is elementary school. So when you really sit down and I'm a girl who never met their dad, I don't know who my father is, okay? So with my mother being a person who highest education is elementary, and my mother had to do CNA job, work at McDonald's, low paying jobs, and now I was able to see that and use that as motivation for me to do better. Okay, I got 2 college degrees, worked in corporate jobs, teacher, do this and this and this. But the thing is, my mother did not have the resources and the tools to pass down to me to make me more successful at a faster rate.
Mhm.
What I had to basically
you have to
pace
figure it
myself
out.
and
You have to
figure
figure
it
it out.
Mhm.
because and like I say, my mother's one of the strongest women I know because at the end of the day, the stuff that she's been through, she could have been a drunkard, she could have been on drugs, but she was a strong, supportive mom. And I always extend grace to her because at the end of the day, a lot of our parents come from ignorance that's been passed down to them. So with that being said, my mom did not have the resources or the tools to make me become successful. And a lot of people on the outside will look at me and, oh, wow, she's young. She owns houses. She drives nice cars. She wears expensive clothes, bags. But they don't know the hardship and the struggle that I'm coming from. Because one, if it's not in this conversation where now this is to motivate somebody else, I would never really like sit down and like shed that or share that kind of experience. Because like I said, with my mom being the person and having the life experience that she has, she did the best that she could. So it's not that she didn't want to, she wasn't able to. I didn't have any inheritance to look forward to. But now my kids, they have inheritance to look forward to. They have a house, they have businesses, they have different things that I'm also putting in place for them because now that I'm older and I have the education and I have the knowledge and the resources, I can put that in place. But prior to my mom, and when you look at my grandmother had 17 kids. My grandmother started having kids when she was 13. So at the end of the day, there was no inheritance to receive for a lot of us because our parents did not have the resources or the tools to set up no life insurance policy, purchase no property, own this, own that, to say, okay, boom, here you go. I'm passing you the baton. Now you go to the finish line.
Mhm.
A lot of us, like you said, had to create those opportunities and set the stage now for our kids.
So your experience was different, I know, Bella's. Did you got it in some type of inheritance?
I wouldn't say I got inheritance per se. My mother left the house behind.
Okay.
You know, I don't need it because I'm at the age where I have my own. But I have siblings that needed it. That it went to.
Yeah.
But me growing up, looking at my mother was working in Quaaludes, working on the bread line. Then she became a supervisor. She opened her own shop, like what they call a bodega in America. So we had a shop at the house. I saw that my mother was an entrepreneur, and I grew looking at her. I love business, so I started to. When I went to school and they taught us home economics, and they say today we're making donuts. I make donuts in school today, and by tomorrow it's in the shop selling because I gotta make that money. I love money. I love to work. I love to, put out and receive. So I used to go to school, learn, and come back home and sell and make it and sell it in the shop. I'm making sugar cake, I'm making fudge, whatever I could have made, afford to
Get
make.
into the bag.
Yeah, I put it in the shop and I sell it. So I grew up seeing my mother trying to grow to the next level, right? Because we used to live in a little board house, and that board house, she turned that into, is how much bedrooms now? Or like 6 bedroom house,
That's nice.
brick house, like a little mini mansion. It had what,
So she
about
evolved.
2 or 3 toilet and bath, so she evolved. And this is the things I look at. So I always had that embedded in me that I need to push, I need to push, I need to push, because I saw my mother pushing. My father was a businessman, he had club, trucks and stuff. But here's the issue now, like you said, the knowledge enough to keep it together.
Right.
You understand?
Mhm.
But it was there.
Okay.
So when I got the opportunity, I know what sacrifice is. And I know if I have to keep certain things together, I gotta make certain sacrifices and I gotta have a certain discipline in order to keep going. Somebody in everything that you're doing have to have some type of discipline. Because without discipline, you'll get $100 today and you'll spend $100 today. Right? And like I said, we look at long term, we don't look at short term. So I would get $100 today and I wouldn't spend $100 until I make it into 5. So with that being said, it all depends on the individual
Mhm.
and how you structure yourself. Money don't bother me. I could have money in my bank account and I'm not going to touch it. I like to see it grow. I like to see when I say interest every month. And certain things you gotta learn to be disciplined about and be structured with. I was getting money and I still go to Rainbow and shop. I love some good rainbow tights because I cannot wear True Religion jeans. It don't fit my body. So you would always see me in a leggings and a crop top or a t-shirt and with something that's stretched, because we black girls, we just so shapety. Levi's can't fit us. Certain things can't fit us. We got Fashion Over now because they're making all the stretchy clothes for us. But when it comes to the brand name stuff and that, I choose not to. I ain't gonna force myself into something and look like a fool.
Yeah, everything gotta make sense. Because even with me, all my purchases make sense. Like every purse that I purchase is because it keeps its value and I can resell it back. Because if things ever get rough, I'm cashing out all them bags. That's all I'm saying.
Or even if the strap break, you can still take it back and you're gonna repair it.
Right.
You understand? Versus that you buy a bag and it dry runs on you the next week. So when you're spending the money, like she said, everything is an investment.
Listen, I don't even wear sneakers and I buy sneakers because let me tell you guys something. That resale market for sneakers is crazy. You
Listen,
buy it for $200, and I learned this with those Dior Dunks. They came out for $250, and now they're worth $15,000. So now I don't even like sneakers. I will wear my Crocs all day, and I'm comfortable. But I buy them for the resale value because, again, if it ever get rough, I'm cashing out all those.
it's a
sneakers.
business. It's a business. Like even with the Yeezys and stuff like that, we get the raffle all the time and we put it down. And then you could resell a Yeezys for $500, $600, $700.
And they only worth $150, $200 when you buy them.
When you buy them.
So that's also something that I would tell anyone who's into sneakers and they're into low investing, like that's a small way but a very smart way to get yourself in the door and making some money. For example, even I bought a pair of Jordans the other day. They were the 12s, the white and burgundy ones. I bought them for $125. Now they were for $350. It's not much of a jump, but
it's still a jump.
Yeah, it's still something.
Girl, what size is that? Because these kids keep
Fine.
buttering me about Jordan. I just had to buy Jordan for $300 and something for one child, and then almost $300 for the next.
I'm telling you. That's
Growing kids is expensive.
When it comes to designer sneakers, you lose your money. You buy yourself a pair of Louis Vuitton sneakers, or you buy yourself Gucci's. They lose their value. They go out of season. Nobody wants them. You purchase a pair of sneakers. Even when you wear them and you gently use them, you can still sell them back and get some money.
Yeah.
When you do the designer thing on the footwear, designer clothes, designer footwear, you don't see their money back. I always make sure everything you do just makes sense. So when you purchase it, that shoes, the bag, just make sure that if push comes to shove and you say, I don't want this no more, you know that you could expect back a $500, a $200, $1,000. You know, so for me per se, everything just has to make sense, especially when I'm spending money.
Yeah. But guys, this is Success is the New Sexy, and I'm your host, Sheminette Mendoza, also known as Bella the Beauty Boss, and I'm here with my co-host Nicola and the Rising Sun.
Yeah.
Yes, and tonight's topic is very, 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 very sensitive for some of us. You know, because people are seeing things happening in front of their eyes, but they don't know what we really go through behind the scenes. You know, you don't know if when I go home, I lie down crying.
Right.
You don't even know if my bill's paid.
Right.
But you just see the pretty face and you're jealous the girls.
You understand?
Or the guy. So we're gonna get into some quick music because you know time is flying.
As usual.
And you all know I love to sing. I'm still waiting on that record deal. Rising Sun promised it for me for 2024. So I'm speaking it into existence.
Me, man, we're gonna mash through that.
Huh?
We're gonna mash through that. It means, you know, the deal is on the table.
Oh, the deal is on the table.
Yeah, we're gonna mash through that.
You know, we kind of overpowering you tonight. So let's see. Let's do let's do your favorite song.
Yeah, run it.
We're gonna do your favorite song, Rising Sun. Let me see. Hold on.
There's no creation without a woman, so there's no real representation without a woman. Ladies, stand up, take your rightful place on the throne.
Now this one, dedicated to all my sisters.
The entire strength of a woman.
You know, say you are queen wherever you stand.
You need a woman. If you want to set up a plan,
You need a woman. You hear what I say?
Be a husband.
You need a woman.
Be a very damn
You
good
can
man.
born without a woman. You know that?
Situation. The strength of a woman is an ambition to fly a plane, sail a ship, and food and the land. A woman didn't come here just to only give birth. So respect woman, we should be called mother. No let's easily woman here. Just say
No, we
there
got
are so
this
many other things
song
what
on,
a woman
the
can do. We take little time just to mention
Gasparilla.
a woman big up to
Yeah,
the
Gasparilla, you know what I'm saying?
You need a woman. If you want to
Gasparilla,
set
they
up
wanna
a
see
plan,
them
you
live.
need a woman. Jerry couldn't be a husband without
I'll
a
be
woman.
visiting.
Yeah, very woman.
We made sure that
No matter situation.
December 9th in Gasparillo.
You know, say you are better than future.
We will be in Gasparillo. The Rising Sun will be performing for the first time in Trinidad on December 9th, people. So y'all gotta come out and support my guy, the Rising Sun. Yes. I know. I might just hit the mic. You never know.
Bring up the old girl.
Represent woman. You know, say you are better than future plan. Fix your crown by your head, woman. No matter what I say, you are number one. Stay up my feet, humble and wise. Represent all lioness queen who take care of their pride. Being you are honorable.
Nothing without a woman. That is so true. Right,
You are
Nicola?
one of a kind, was a supposed
You will never be here before
real
you
on
forget.
every level. Whenever you fail, you always see
Look at that.
find solutions.
We got
You
no
never
man.
give up, you never give in, you deserve promotion. Stay up my feet, humble and wise. Represent all lioness queen who take care of your pride. I come to represent the woman there. This is the woman and the man there. I
Y'all
come
know
to
who that
represent
is.
the woman there.
Queen Melissa.
Attention. Thank you for coming to the Queen Melissa show. I represent for Trinidad and Tobago. Listen to my accent in case you didn't know. This Trinidad flow, lyrically, musically, chemically, automatically displaying the
And she's
brain
a
of the
dress
female
owner.
anatomy.
You can match
The
it
run
up.
upon me, the sun upon me, the mother sorry. No matter what, don't touch my body, cause the sweet and the honey, independent, got the money on the beat. It's not funny, so stop sneaking upon me. Every woman is a champion, no matter rebellion. All in the queen as I stand for the woman.
Black woman a come, Bella body another black woman a come, rough and ready another black woman a come, Bella body another black woman a come, super sexy. So me come in the place and move my waist and guy just coming and giving a chase. Me coming and dancing, moving on the branch and the guy
I just come and I want romance. Move in a groove, tell them to move it, else they know they'll have to choose between living or dying. Or they'll maybe commit another sin or right. And now we will begin to master. Rhyming, rhyming, rhyming. Another black woman now come. Bella body, another black woman now come. Rough and ready. That's me, guys. That's your girl, Bella. We're running out of time. We only got like 4 more minutes to go. This is Success is the New Sexy. You can find us here live every Wednesday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget to tune into Love Bay Radio each and every day, people. There is something special happening on this show. And every Sunday, you guys are going to get DJ Ward and DJ Hen with Soca Sundays. For all of them who like to turn up, wind up the waist, a straight soca session. So you got to tune in on Sundays to Soca Sundays. And it has so much other exciting things happening on Love Bay Radio. Find us on Instagram at Success is the New Sexy.
Yeah.
And you can visit Bella Body Spas in New York, in Trinidad, in Dubai. We're franchising for 2024. We're going to be hitting the road. College is not the only option. Beauty is our lifestyle. Franchises start as low as $5,000 to students. The adults, you're going to find your prices out pretty soon, but we starting with the students. Your franchises start at $5,000, and you can come to New York, train with us, learn everything about the business, and get going to start in the Bella Body Spas brand. I know you tell me you put in one in Jamaica already, so I ain't even worried about you.
Oh, when I niggle there, no?
I hope you're going and running.
All right, I start with my
Hey, Tara. Hi, guys. Good night, beautiful people. Thank you for keeping it real. Appreciate you guys sharing your ups and downs, sending love and blessings to everyone. Thank you, Tara.
Thank you, Tara.
Hey, Dari. Hey, well, Tara, please tell Dari I said good night. Dari, everybody here has tried your soap. You know, I didn't forget you guys. We do have Hello Organics here at Bella Body Spas. You guys can purchase online, purchase in store. And we are shipping now. I know I told you guys we're waiting for shipping. We are shipping now worldwide. So if you guys want to participate and try Hello Organics, it's really, really good. Natural, 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 all natural. So he had, and the pain relief cream.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's all now?
He has the pain relief cream. He's trying to get it to New York for us. That has THC in it. So it's been a little challenging, but we're going to figure it out.
Right.
And get it here because it's cold time. A lot of people got aches and pains. You know, we say we're 30, but it ain't so. Thank you, Sheldon. We love you and we miss you. We got to have you on the show pretty soon. And guys, don't forget, we're going to be in Trinidad. December 9th, the Rising Sun will be performing in Gasparillo. It's his first time in Trinidad, guys. So come out and support my guy. And Trinidad Bella Body Spas will be having their first Christmas party.
Gasparillo will be smoking.
Listen, when we touch down, the whole place, Sheldon. So we're going to be in Trinidad the beginning of December. So look out for that. That's going to be an amazing show. So much artists on the lineup. We're going to keep you guys informed as the time gets closer. You'll even see when we board the plane.
Yeah.
Because the Rising Sun, he wants to journal everything, honey. I don't know. But we are here. Thank you guys for tuning in. We are going to be here again next Wednesday. It's almost time to go. We love you guys. We love you guys. We love you guys. I think we can leave you guys with a quick.
Good night. Enjoy your rest of your night, everybody.
Yes.
Yes.
Thanks for having me.
Success is the new sexy, you know?
Yes, it
is.
I'm going to end up with Sheldon. Trinidad and Tobago.
And I am bringing to you 3 to Dubai.
This was a big show in Dubai. All of the festival.
There's only one thing you need to do right. Dream as if you live forever, but live as if you die tonight. Said I was dreaming.
Oh, yeah.
I was a millionaire, the sun was funny because the music was streaming.
You guys have to check out that video on YouTube. You must see your shooting there.
Oh, yeah. And even when we try to stop the music, that's completing the feeling. Nobody couldn't stop me cause they can't. Cause I was dreaming of it last night. It was a short sight. As clear as daylight, with a ring so bright.
And it's almost time. We're gonna wrap out to Shalom Mendoza.
I was feeling right. I poured with all my mind, along with all my life. This was my moment, so I had to lose all pride. This is my third flight. I got a hold tight. They couldn't stop me because they can't. Said I was dreaming. Oh yeah. I was a millionaire, the star was for because the music was streaming. And everyone around me was around because my life it was feeling. Oh yeah. And even when they try to stop the music, I stopped hitting the ceiling. Nobody couldn't stop me because they can. So if you ever had a dream that felt so real, you wouldn't know how I feel. No one to wake up just to make up for the sleep you had to steal. Cause everything you dream about, you bring about and make it real. Cause become things from every dream, you break the seal and seal the deal. So when it's midnight, under the moonlight.
You hear that? You can't stop dreaming, people. That's my guy, Shalom Mendoza. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Love Bay Radio. This is Success is the New Sexy. We see you next Wednesday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m.